Hello, welcome back. So students, this one's for the teachers out there. You don't need to know this. That being said, these are some cool things that you can do on Google. And if you want to watch, hey, I'm not going to be mad. At least then you'll know what I do to make your quizzes and whatnot. Hey, teachers, are you tired of grading every form that your student submits or working with PDF documents going back and forth? If you spend a little bit of front time, you can make a Google form into a quiz and it grades it for you. It's absolutely insane. So what I've got here is my warm up from yesterday. I put for a grade on it because I want to make it as clear as possible that I am taking a grade on it. And then in the directions of the quiz, I always put something letting them know that you actually have to type the answers in a specific format. And that's because as I go through the test, I have a very specific answer. And I could take the time to type in an all caps or a lowercase, or I could do A, B, C, D, because I've got very many different types of ways to answer a response. For me in math, short answer is usually the best, and it doesn't tie them into A, B, C, D. I actually get to see their brain move. So regardless, the other key is you want to come over here to settings and you want to make sure that you are collecting email addresses. You do want the response receipts. For quizzes, make sure that your quiz mode is on. Locked mode for Chromebooks. This is kind of cool if you're taking a test and you do not want it to be an open book test. Turning on locked book means once they start taking the test, that's the only tab they can access. It won't allow them to use other applications or tabs. Release the grade immediately after emails each submission. Later requires a couple other things, and later would be more for a rubric-based question, like maybe an English teacher is asking, tell me 5 sentences on how your morning was. And you have a rubric for grading that. Google Forms can't grade a rubric. It has to have a cut and dry answer. So that might be something. For respondents can see if you want them to know the missed question. Maybe if it's a test, you don't want them to see that because then they might tell their friends or whatever your concern is. See the correct answers, same thing. And the point values, same thing. And on point values, that's going to be kind of important. When you come in here and you're making your point, your questions, you have your short answer type, you go to the answer key and you type in your correct answer. And I could have multiple correct answers, so I could have let them typed out SIX as opposed to just the 6. I can assign a point value. The default seems to be 5 points. I don't know if that's just because I've made everything 5 points so much or not, but anyway, 5 points. So you do all of this and then you collect your responses. If you click over here on the responses, it will pull up, you know what? I'm going to figure out how to blur everything. When you click on the responses, oh, it doesn't even have their names on here. Awesome. It will pull up how many responses you've got, and then you've got this little green doodad right here. When you click the green doodad, that pulls it up in Sheets, which is a spreadsheet. So while you've got some really good data that you can look at here and you can see that, okay, so there were 12 questions, 5 points each. So 60 is actually 100. I got 60 points. It looks like 14 of my students did that out of what, 25 responses. So that's fairly good. I'm not too bad with that. But I click this and it's going to pull up a sheet. Now, I made a sanitized version of it because it's collecting email addresses. And this is where you get to the cool stuff. All of these columns over here tell me what the question was and what the response was. So you can see I've got 7 times -7, and one of the students is, I don't know what symbol that is. I'm not going to get into not knowing an asterisk is multiplication, and I've already addressed that issue with the student. Regardless, they did not get this one correct because the answer is not question marks. Anyway, the important one is going to be the email address and the score. Now, I'm not sure about every school, but our school uses these first 6 numbers to be their student number. And whenever I'm going to import grades, I need to have those 6 numbers. So here's what you do. Right click, insert one to the left. And I'm going to just go on ahead and type student ID so that you guys can see what we're doing. Normally, I just leave it blank because I'm lazy. There is a really cool formula. It's called left and right. We're going to use both of those. So I'm going to say equals. Any formula you start to type has to have the equal sign in front. Left, and then I do my open parentheses. Now at this point, I want to select the cell. So I usually use the left button, but I'll click on it. That way you can see it. It gave me left B2, so I want to see the left characters on this one. I'm going to put my comma, and now I need to tell it how many of those characters. Well, our school number is 6 digits long, so I'm going to actually do 6, and then close parentheses, and you'll see right up here, it actually told me and gave me a preview of what it would be. So you see the 00001. If I do 5, I don't get that last digit. So you can actually check to make sure you've got what you want. Then I'm going to close parentheses and hit enter. And then look at that. It went on ahead and figured out all the rest of the numbers. Now, there's 2 things you can do. Is one, you can say, yes, that's exactly how I want to autofill it, and click boom. And now you'll see 2 is here, 1 is here, 2 is here, and I didn't even realize it was supposed to count all the way up, but apparently I didn't pay attention. Regardless, the other thing you can do, let's say for whatever reason you forgot to do that, you can come right here, back to your original one, and the formula, if you click this blue box over here and get the cursor to change that plus symbol, you can drag it down, and it will repeat, changing the field that it's looking at. So you can see this is looking at field 18, which would be this one right beside it. So it's actually looking at that data. Now, how do we get it to tell us a grade? So we're going to insert one to the left here, and I'm going to give the header grade, again, just to help you see what's going on. And this is where things get a little crazy. Now remember, percentage of a grade is going to be how much you got right out of how much total possible. So what we're actually looking to do, and I'm going to write it down here, we're looking at this top field, so 60 out of 60. Now to calculate that, I need the left 2 digits. So I'm going to go equals left 2 digits of field, this field, comma 2 digits, and I'm going to divide that by the right D2 2 digits, because the left 2 digits got me the 2 on the left, the right 2 is going to give me the right 2, and so that's left 2 divided by right 2. Now if I hit enter, 60 divided by 60 is 1. That's 1 full percent. But remember, I need to multiply that times 100. So I want to go times 100, boom, and now I have a 100. Oh, I messed up. I want that autofill to come back up so you can see something. Oh well, we'll do it this way. So we'll drag it down. Now, I don't know about your program, but my program will not take decimal points. I can't have that. So let's go back to my original thing. I've got this cool thing I can do. There's actually 2 commands. One is round, and it'll round it up to a specific set of rules. So I would use round, and then I'm going to put that for 0 decimal points, and then boom. So now it's going to round the number accordingly to 0 numbers. Sometimes your teachers are gracious. I actually prefer round up. What round up will do is regardless of the decimal. So right down here you see 58.3333. If you rounded that correctly, it'd be a 58. If you use round up, let me get back here. All right, so we are at the 58.333. Let's go right there. It'll go to 59. If there is any decimal or fraction thereof, it'll automatically push that number up. And now we can carry that all the way down to the bottom. Boom. So now I have given an assessment by creating a Google form. I put it on the Google Classroom. They took the assessment using a Google form. It has automatically given me all of their student IDs along with all of the averages. And last time I checked, almost all school software, if you have student IDs and averages, you can import those grades. So all you got to do is delete the extra stuff. Delete. Oh, you can't delete yet. And the reason I can't delete is because I've got the Google form open and it won't talk to each other. Regardless, the other way to do this is to remember, okay, column 1, column 2, column 3. So column 3 is where my student data is. 4 and 5, 5 is where my grade is. So whenever you import, just remember column 4 and column 5. But to download it, come to download, you'll want to use comma separated variable. And then you're just going to put it wherever it is you want to put it, save. And I've now got that file, so I can go on ahead and do my import. If you're interested in knowing how to do it in Teams, give me a shout and I'll go over to your classroom and show you how to do the import. It's super simple. If you run into problems doing this, same thing. Let me know. Either way, I hope this helps. Let me know if there's something else you need. Leave a comment in the suggestion telling me what you want to learn about. Otherwise, don't forget, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I'll see you in class tomorrow. But you're teachers, so you'll see students in class tomorrow. Later.